Good afternoon and welcome to LAM Live Christmas Edition 2021. Well, what's this all about, I hear you say? So, here is our mission statement. LAM Live is a series of live streaming events for kink positive consenting adults, providing a place for those who can't connect with their community to share some space during these difficult times. We try and broadcast as much as we can, but we are occasionally subject to people objecting to our content and attempted takedowns, so catch us live to make the most of it. So what's going on today other than it's Christmas Day? But don't worry, you're going to survive Whamageddon if you're listening to us, and it's not going to be overly festive because we totally get that not everyone is into the festive cheer, as it were, for a variety of reasons, but we'll get on to that in a bit. So a little bit about us. What is LAM? So LAM has been keeping it kinky since 2006. Initially started in London as the London Alternative Market. Over the years it's expanded just a little bit, and we've incorporated our sister event Lamchester up in the north. Basically it provides a space for the kink traders to display their wares, for people to come in a safe environment, to have a look, see what they fancy, to explore the workshops and to make the most of those social connections, which have been particularly difficult during this time. We're very pleased to know that we're one of the places that are regarded as one of the best experiences when you're coming onto the scene, and at the end of the day education is so massively important to us as an event because we all continue to learn. Now, if this is your very first LAM Live, please stop, go back and review some of the newbie material from the previous sessions. It's well worth it. And if you're looking at joining us at events, there's the details of our ticket tailor up on the screen. As well as this, there are a number of additional resources you can access through LAM. If you go to the website, look for the Educational Resources tab. There's a host of information on there, and also in our archive on social media, particularly on YouTube, you'll find more hours of workshops than we'd care to actually quote. I think it's something in the region of well over 350. So if you're looking to explore kink, what a great resource. We're also the archive of the Kink Shrink. For her Thursday night sessions, wherever possible, we will archive those as well. And you know what? Because we're decent human beings at the end of the day, if you want to see something extra, you think there's something missing, either let us know or get involved. At the end of the day, we are pretty much a volunteer-based organisation, working as hard as we can to bring you as much fun as we can, because at the end of the day, that's really what this is all about. So quaff another mince pie or whatever you're up to today, sit back and enjoy. So, a couple of messages from me. First of all, and most importantly of all, thanks to everyone who attended events this year. I know it was a challenge. I know we had some interesting and challenging locations, but that's part of it. It was about getting out there and making sure that people had an opportunity to connect and be part of this awesome community. A huge thank you to everyone who came and traded at events. You know what? We had some interesting locations. From outdoor markets, we were blessed by decent weather for the most part on that one, to doing stuff in farms and barns and all over the place. And you know what? That was only really possible thanks to an amazing crew of people who really worked hard to make all of this happen. And ultimately, thanks also to our hosts. At the end of the day, there were a number of people who took a little bit of a gamble, trusted us to be able to pull off an event at high efficiency and stick within the rules. Because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, if it wasn't enough of a stress, those £10,000 fines that they were threatening to kick around, they were very unpleasant, because an awful lot of people just weren't interested in taking that risks. But at the end of the day, let's give you some messages from our stalls and a couple of videos from some of our photographers as well. I hope you're having a fantastic day, relaxing as much as possible, and looking forward to the next event.
With everything that's been going on this year, let's try and make your holiday season a little more fun. These red leather rose cat o' nine tails are so lovely to look at that you might not know whether to use them or just put them on the wall to admire. Our stainless steel dragon's claw scratchers come in a lovely presentation box and are fantastic for sensation play. They're even compatible with violet wands to make your holidays go with a buzz. If you like being held tight at Christmas, these quality fully lined leather straitjackets are great for keeping you snugly bound, and they have removable tit panels for extra enjoyment. To stop those naughty little fingers from getting into the presents before they're allowed, we have these wonderfully restrictive fist bondage mittens. Once they're fastened, they're not coming off in a hurry. For an amazingly full feeling over the winter, you can use our biggest sex toys in one of our really popular giant strap-on dildo harnesses, which are designed for both male and female wearers. These loop-tail suede floggers are a wonderful winter bottom warmer. They're soft and thuddy with an incredible deep-down thump sensation, guaranteed to give your subject rosy cheeks. This isn't just Christmas, this is a BDSM Christmas. Season's beatings from affordable leather products.
Are you a superhero? Are you fighting injustice in this world? Do you want to kick COVID's butt? Then grab a mask to outlast this pandemic. If you're into the themes of punk, fetish, gender fuckery or neurodiversity, this is for you. Come, join the other misfits, freaks and weirdos and celebrate your own unique expression!
And if you're looking forward to events in 2022, here's the details of our next two events. Yep, Sunday the 2nd of January, as part of a long weekend, we've got the first LAM of the year in Leadenhall, and then Sunday the 23rd, subject to approval and regulations, it'll be LAM at Lamchester at Theatre Impossible in Manchester. You know what? We say this all the time, if you're looking to explore, looking to get out to a first event, you couldn't get much better. Because at the end of the day, if you're there for the 1 o'clock session, that's all about meeting and greeting and making the newbies as comfortable as possible. And you know what? You don't just have to be completely new. You might be one of those people, you were into kink before, you've taken something of a break and realised across this difficult time that it is a core part of you and you want to get out and explore. So there's a couple of opportunities. Get out, come and interact, have some fun, and we have some great lineups in store for you on those. Some awesome workshops, healthy mental practices, and an absolutely kicking after party. You know what? Got some new furniture for that as well, so a couple of surprises. It's not as if it's going to be the same old LAM, because as someone said to me just the other day, they like coming to LAM because it's always different. There is always going to be a mix of different workshops, mix of stalls, and we've now got enough dungeon furniture that we can always mix it up for the after party as well. So details up on the screen. We look forward to you joining us whenever you can. Comedy with John Pendle, The Leather Coach.
Here we go with another book blurb. This one's about chastity play. What's so sexy about not having sex? Everything, says Mistress Simone, when chastity is enforced by a hot dominant and backed by the right attitude and equipment. Long-time dominant Simone explains how to keep your male or female submissive eager to attend to your every desire, simply by holding the key to their sexual release. Whether your will is imposed by a simple agreement or backed by an impressive chastity device, you'll discover, as many kinksters have, that controlling your submissive sexuality opens the door to other types of control as well. Topics include the psychology of chastity, the realities of chastity, integrating chastity into your BDSM play, and choosing and fitting devices, as well as a glossary and an extensive resource guide. Ready for your book blurb? This time it's Identity, the first of the Eroticon anthologies from 2017. Identity showcases a diverse collection of personal essays and stories by over 20 sex toy reviewers, non-fiction sex writers and erotic fiction authors. It boasts a breadth of talent from a range of new and established writers alike, all of whom are attendees of the 2017 Eroticon conference in London. It's a sex-positive anthology, moving from the heteronormative to show a truly representative cross-section of erotic identity. In this unique compilation, the central theme of identity is explored from many different angles. Some authors describe their personal identity as a writer, others how their fictional characters explore who they are through sex. Yet other writers examine the impact of erotic identity, sexuality or personality, and how this is celebrated, or for some, must remain hidden. Book blurb time? Yay! This is Black Lipstick Kisses by Monica Bell. It was not my first time in a cemetery at night, by any means. I'd often wandered in the moonlight between the stones and tombs, letting my senses fill with emotion. This time it was different. My overriding sense was not one of melancholy or peace, but a strange, malign humour, frightening and arousing too. As my heart gradually slowed and my fear of being caught died away, I was seized with an urge to be naked. More than that, naked in rude, blatantly sexual positions. Whoa.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's your birthday. Happy birthday. It's a great day. That's what we say. Happy birthday.
Hey everyone, it's Zach here from Dirty Sexy Words, as you might remember from earlier this year and summer last year. Just stopping by to say, have a decent Christmas, as good as you possibly can, and let's hope for a even better next year. This one's certainly had its ups and downs. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all the times you came shopping. Think of all the good times we had. Hold on to them against the memories of them against the bad times. And I'm going to read you a silly bit of Christmas fun, a story that's mainly for littles, but the rest of you could probably have a bit of fun with it as well. See you next year. Okay, reading glasses on, because once again, it's story time. And this is a Christmas story about Rudy and Ruder, the very rude reindeer. Rudy and Ruder were two very rude reindeer. They sang rude songs all the time and talked about rude things that they wanted to do. Father Christmas told them off and made them stand in the corner, but they kept right on being naughty and rude. Oh dear, what was Father Christmas going to do with such rude, naughty reindeer? It was getting close to Christmas, and everyone at the North Pole was very busy indeed. But Rudy and Ruder kept skiving off their work to make up rude songs about the elves and the gnomes and the other reindeer. And the things those two got up to with the candy canes were very naughty indeed. One day, really close to Christmas Eve, Rudy and Ruder had been sent out of the workshop for, Well, what do you think they've been doing? Rude things. They wandered round the buildings at the North Pole, spent a bit of time peering in through the windows and making rude faces at everyone else. But all the other reindeer and gnomes and elves were fed up with Rudy and Ruder and took no notice of them at all. Eventually, Rudy and Ruder found their way to the big shed, where all the presents were kept, ready to be loaded onto the sleigh. Normally the door was kept locked, but Father Christmas had overdone the port and lemon at the Snow Queen's party the night before. He'd forgotten what he'd done with the key, so the door was open. Rudy and Ruder crept inside the shed. There were lots and lots of sacks of presents, all lined up round the walls. "Shall we?" said Ruder. "Let's," said Rudy, so they started to look inside the sacks. "What's this? What's this?" they cried to one another. They found a colouring book with pictures of snowmen and carol singers, and they drew willies on the pages. They found some dolls and teddy bears and put them in all sorts of compromising positions. They just found some skipping ropes and were thinking about the rude uses these might be put to when the door banged wide open and Father Christmas came stomping in with his red suit and his big black boots. Stomp, stomp, stomp. "Rudy and Ruder, you rude, naughty reindeer, what do you think you're doing?" roared Father Christmas. "You've gone too far this time." First he grabbed Rudy by the antlers, then he sat down on a chair and he put the rude reindeer over his knee. Father Christmas pulled down Rudy's shorts and gave Rudy a good hard spanking. Spank, spank, spank. And then he did the same to Ruder. Spank, 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 went Father Christmas with his big hard hand. When both the naughty rude reindeer had sore bottoms that were as red as their noses, Father Christmas made them stand to attention in front of him. "You two are far, far too rude and naughty to help me deliver presents to good children," he said sternly. "So you are going to go and work in the red workshop. That's where we make all the presents for the grown-ups who are rude and naughty, because they're very good at being rude and naughty, and so are you. Now run along there straight away." Rudy and Ruder ran along, as well as they could, while rubbing their sore bottoms. "Do you think we'll get spanked in the red workshop?" asked Rudy. "I expect so," said Ruder, and the two rude reindeer looked at one another and grinned. "Merry Christmas. I hope you get all you deserve." Book blurb time. The Story of Joe by Justine Elliott. 20-something Joe meets Emmett on a team-building course, and her initial disdain for him soon turns into attraction. With Emmett's strong but loving hand to guide her, Joe unleashes her inner submissive, and they embark on an intense voyage of sexual discovery. Their mutual fascination sees them exploring bondage, spanking, toys, and more, and their romance is as perfect as Joe could hope for until another man appears on the scene. Wonder what happens next. Ready for another book blurb? Now we've got Sexual Misadventures by Rachel Kay, also known as blogger Wrigley Kitty. Rachel Kay is a woman on a mission, finds someone dominant enough to satisfy her submissive yearnings. 18 months ago, she sought help for her own Me Too story. In the process, she discovered a whole new side to her sexuality and came out to her husband as polyamorous. They've spent the past year on a sexual and emotional roller coaster. Their marriage almost didn't make it, and Rachel fell for the wrong man. A self-described chronic overthinker, she started blogging as a way of expressing herself, and, through a lot of soul-searching and self-reflection, found sides of herself she didn't know existed. Rachel writes about her erotic encounters in intimate and candid detail, from describing a newfound joy of vanilla sex to the endorphin highs of BDSM. She discusses kink, mental health, and her relationships.
Party time.
Hi there. If you're sceptical about life coaching, I completely understand. I used to wonder who on earth would ever go for life coaching. I mean, life's easy, right? You get up, you try and earn enough money to pay the bills. If you're lucky, you see some friends, and then you go to bed. If you need to see a life coach, you must be really failing hard at something, which means more guilt and more shame. Then I took a comedy show to the Edinburgh Festival about my guilt and shame, and afterwards, some of those people who saw it asked if I would coach them, so I got some training in it. And to pass the course, we had to be coached ourselves. Really annoyingly, I have to admit that it worked. During my own coaching sessions, we looked at some of the negative thoughts that kept me awake at night. My attitude towards money, which I thought was fine, but that filled a whole hour. Whether or not having empathy meant that I could stand up for myself, and some new ways of looking at domestic arguments and my own family relationships. In coaching other people, I've seen my clients discover they had a direction when they didn't think they had one, create a video for a Kickstarter project that more than made its target, accept their adult dyslexia, be kinder to themselves, find their voice, and become happier. So look, if you're completely happy with your life, I am really pleased for you, and I hope we get to hang out socially. But if there's any part of you that would like to think or behave differently, then do get in touch. My contact details are below, or you can check out www.johnpendle.com. And for everyone watching, I hope you have a really wonderful day. Thank you.
The first half of my sexual education happened in Amsterdam, which I went to a lot in my 20s. And give me a cheer if you like Amsterdam. I possibly like it for a different reason than you. I loved Amsterdam because it was the only place in the world they showed straight porn in gay bars, because they'd seen everything else. It was a revelation. I learned so much. So I went to Amsterdam so often, they started telling me off for not having learned any Dutch. You know you've gone to Amsterdam too much if they start telling you off for that. So I had to do adult education lessons for a couple of years. And basically, I learned enough Dutch to get a man into bed, a Dutch speaker, in 5 sentences. And it works every time. Are you interested in knowing what they are? Yeah. So, sentence 1, you're in Amsterdam or anywhere in the world with a tall, blonde Dutch person who walks past, they're good looking, and you start off by saying, lekker ding, which is sexy fucker. Oh my God. And they turn and look at you because they're not used to hearing that with an English accent. And then you follow it up with a second sentence, ik wil jou lekker zoenen, which is, I want to give you nice kisses. Weirdly, this has never failed for them to kiss me, which isn't what I said. I said I'd kiss them, but just roll with it, it's fine. And then, while you're having a little kiss, you feel their body through their clothing, and you say, ik ben diep onder de indruk. I am really impressed. That gets you back to their apartment, or toilet cubicle, or corner of a dark room, depending how, sweaty or desperate you are. That gets you somewhere private. And then you say the 4th line. This is the absolute killer. Je bent het neusje van de zalm. You're the nose of the salmon. It's the very best bit. It's like the bee's knees. And that absolutely 100% gets you laid. Because there's no way you can have translated that from another language. You have to have learned that from somebody Dutch. It always makes them blush and gets you laid. Now I said there were 5 sentences. The 5th one is for after. Helaas, ik ben getrouwd met 2 kinderen. Tot ziens. Sadly, I'm married with 2 kids. don't cope well with change, and I've been on antidepressants whenever we've kind of moved house or had any building work, or there's been a movement of sofas. Andy seems to do, like, if he wants to move furniture, he'll wait till I'm at a gig, and then I go back to the house. No, I did it while they're out of the house, which should be fine. So he announced for the move, his one aim would be that I wouldn't end up on antidepressants. Why is that your goal? That seems really fucking unfair. I don't say, right, we're going to move house, and for the first year, you're not allowed to use a Vylida Supermod. Right? I think those are the equivalents. So we moved house, and I said, all right, I won't do the antidepressants, I won't see a GP. And a week later, our little Lizzie bear, mum cat, went down with stress. Now, if you're not a cat owner, you won't know this. Going down with stress, if you're a cat owner, means £410 in vet bills. They gave us 4 different tablets to mash into her breakfast in the morning. And because I'm the one that gives her breakfast, the next day I found myself sobbing. I was actually crying as I mashed them into her breakfast. Why does the cat get them and I don't? That first day she was on them, we caught her staring at a blank wall, pupils blown, for 25 minutes. This is how big her eyes were. She stared at a blank wall like she was having the biggest trip of her life. We called the vet and went, is that normal? And the vet went, no, we know immediately what one that is. You've got to take her off the pills beginning with M. And then because we paid for them, I had to hold myself back and going, since we paid for them, can I have them instead? I know you shouldn't just medicate yourself, that's a bad thing. I have tried therapy as well. I had CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy, on the NHS, and all my gay friends thought that was absolutely hysterical. Yeah, if you gay, CBT is short for cock and ball torture.
I did learn from the kink community, though, there are these things called leather families. Do any of you know about this? Leather families. I get a whiff of fat off some of you. It's just, you know, the leather families, it's basically, if you're a bit kinky, you can have different kinds of intimate relationships. It's not just like your romantic other. You can have a puppy in your life, like a human puppy, somebody like a human who does puppy play, or you can have a submissive or a slave. It's all kind of role play, but it means that you meet people in the kink community who go, this is my slave, this is my slave's puppy, this is my boyfriend's slave's priest, this is my priest's slave's puppy's boyfriend, you know, this is my husband's slave's puppy's girlfriend, and I'm Jeff, I'm single.
I phoned and told them the conclusion I'd come to. They promptly kicked me out, which was a bit of a blessing in disguise. But now I just want to go back and tell them how much easier it is going out with another fella. Because men, we are such simple creatures. We only have 3 states of being: hungry, horny, and sleepy. Which, coincidentally, are 3 of the names of the gay 7 dwarfs. The full list being hungry, horny, sleepy, bitchy, butch, camp, and hypoallergenic.
Are you a superhero? Are you fighting injustice in this world? Do you want to kick COVID's butt? Then grab a mask to outlast this pandemic. If you're into the themes of punk, fetish, gender fuckery, or neurodiversity, this is for you. Come, join the other misfits, freaks and weirdos, and celebrate your own unique expression!
If my church wanted me to be straight, they should have given me the top 3 reasons, you know, the benefits of being straight.
and I've really tried. Help me out here. Like the three I've come up with, but you've got to give me some better ones at the bar. You have the support of religious institutions. Right. You're not made to go for weekly counselling to try and change your sexuality. And you're not blamed whenever there's floods.
Some messages from the stalls and traders.
With everything that's been going on this year, let's try and make your holiday season a little more fun. These red leather rose cat o' nine tails are so lovely to look at that you might not know whether to use them or just put them on the wall to admire. Our stainless steel dragon's claw scratchers come in a lovely presentation box and are fantastic for sensation play. They're even compatible with violet wands to make your holidays go with a buzz. If you like being held tight at Christmas, these quality fully lined leather straitjackets are great for keeping you snugly bound, and they have removable tit panels for extra enjoyment. To stop those naughty little fingers from getting into the presents before they're allowed, we have these wonderfully restrictive fist bondage mittens. Once they're fastened, they're not coming off in a hurry. For an amazingly full feeling over the winter, you can use our biggest sex toys in one of our really popular giant strap-on dildo harnesses, which are designed for both male and female wearers. These loop-tail suede floggers are a wonderful winter bottom warmer. They're soft and thuddy with an incredible deep-down thump sensation, guaranteed to give your subject rosy cheeks. This isn't just Christmas, this is a BDSM Christmas. Season's beatings from affordable leather products.
Welcome to the alternative Christmas message from LAM 2021. If you enjoy the festive season, enjoy it the most that you can. Live life to the full and seize that moment. If you don't, we'll see you soon. And understandably, Christmas isn't a time for everyone, so we wanted to give that alternative perspective as well. We've all faced challenges since 2020, but frankly, it's what we do to respond to them that matters. So if you're one of those people who've really had to lean in and work extra specially hard helping and supporting others at very, very difficult times, thank you for that. It hasn't gone unnoticed, it's been greatly appreciated. If you've lost someone or felt the loss, either physically or because of a realignment of people's values during this time, then I hope that passes smoothly. There's been a lot of pain in the world, and that's something that unfortunately we can't always avoid. But what we can do is give people the opportunity to come out and explore, and that's one thing that I'm particularly proud of my team for putting together and really reinforcing over these difficult times. Because the world didn't stop. There were people who found that they were kinky, found that they needed to explore this side of their lives, and quite frankly, anyone who's faced a life-changing decision will tell you those moments of reflection and re-evaluation of your priorities can produce some very interesting outcomes. Mine happened in life a lot earlier than the pandemic, but it was as a result of my recovery from a car crash that I decided to fully express my kink identity and really bring it to the forefront of who I am. And without opportunities to do that, and without the people who supported me helping do that, it is a very difficult and challenging place. So if you're one of those people who stepped up and gave opportunities, support and help to others during this difficult time, thank you for doing that, because quite frankly, there weren't that many people around. So those that made the effort and really had an impact, truly very appreciative of it. At the end of the day, the simple answer was probably for everyone to shut it down and hunker down and pretend that nothing happened. But at the end of the day, that, as I said, would have lost an opportunity for those new people coming in to have had the warm welcome that the rest of us have enjoyed in the past. Well, what the future holds, you know what? We're not sure. It isn't a crystal ball. Hopefully things are getting better, but they're not going to get better without people putting the effort in and making sure that they do improve and get better. So if you're one of those people engaging and actively supporting others, again, thank you for taking that path and doing the right thing when faced with this challenge. To those that have stayed away, we hope that with time you'll be able to come back. But at the end of the day, we are a community that work for the people that are engaged. We've noticed a significant change in the demographics across this period of time, and I think that's something that will happen moving forward. And we've also kind of broken the mold by doing more and more things online and exploring that space as well. So if you're one of those people who's connected with us for the first time across this and in a virtual capacity, thank you for doing so. Please leave us a comment, give us some feedback, and more than anything, if you're interested in doing this and feeding back into the community, please get in contact, engage and make the most of it. I really don't know what's going to hold on in the future, but I can guarantee you we will be doing our damnedest to make sure that there are events worthy of people turning up to and things for them to look forward to. So until then, please stay as safe as you can, look after yourselves, look after each other, and we'll see you as soon as we can. stay safe. We'll see you as soon as we can and you can. And until then, don't be a cockwomble, stay as safe as you can, and absolutely no dogging on the way home. And a final special thanks to all of the Lamb and Lambchester guests and crew and the stalls for their messages and ongoing support. We look forward to seeing you as soon as we can in 2022.